What's up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, football fans across the globe? It's your girl Dahlia back with another Iggles Landing podcast where you can get your Eagles and NFL news fix every hump day, live on YouTube every Wednesday night, available on iTunes and Stitcher. So please make sure to rate, subscribe, all that good stuff, because that helps us out and it helps us bring you more great Eagles and NFL content. Now, before I get into the intros, I do want to say a happy Veterans Day to all the people that have served and continue to serve. Nothing but respect, and shout out to my pops, because he's actually a vet, so he's full of surprises, and it's nice to have a day that honors people like him. So now let's get into the real stuff. We have a very new special guest. Now, unfortunately, E-Rock could not make it today. He had something last minute, but thankfully, we have a super awesome person to join in and will be a regular on the Eagles Landing podcast, Gayle Saunders. How's it going?
Thank you for the nice intro. I'm glad to be a part of this awesome podcast. Two Eagle vloggers setting the bar high. So I really want to talk Eagles 24/7, but we'll do this weekly. What do you say?
A few notes about Mr. Saunders over here. Currently resides in enemy territory. Is that correct? New York?
In NYC territory. I see many a Giant fan. So I do rep Eagles hard 24/7. And I look every NFC East fan in the eye when I walk by them.
Yes. Established dominance right away. Got it. Now, that's what I love. And that's kind of the whole point of this whole podcast. I know you're kind of coming in new, but the whole Eagles Landing concept, it's about fans all over the world. I love that. E-Rock's on the other side, and I'm all the way out here in Los Angeles and you're in enemy territory. And we have these different perspectives of the same team and different fan experiences in different locations. And I think it's really cool to bring that together to share with our people here on YouTube.
I grew up in Connecticut, and it's kind of crazy. And my dad's from Philly, so he really put the Philly bug on me. Oh. But he named me after Gayle Saunders, Chicago Bear great. I thought I was a Bears fan at first, and then he just said, "No, you're going to be Eagle fan."
Well, it sounds like you got a good pops right there.
Yeah.
Did the right thing. Now, you are a founder of skinnypost.com and writer for Rotoworld.
Yeah, NBC's Rotoworld. I've been there about 2 years. It's been a pretty phenomenal experience. But yeah, I'm pretty much engulfed in NFL news, fantasy, you name it. Pretty much a fantasy psycho. But
fantasy psycho, I like it.
I'm the dude that wakes up at 5 a.m. to check the fantasy lineup.
Wow. Now, see, I love that, because that's what, I'm not as hardcore like that. I'm a very just kind of like go with my feelings, and I'll research a little until I get too tired. So that's awesome. So guys and gals that are watching, we got our super nerd. It's always good to have a super
NFL draft. I actually write specifically for the NFL draft section for Rotoworld. So,
all right.
So if you want draft nuggets, future Eagle athletes, I'm really just like digging into the crates every day.
Yes, and that's I wanted to let everyone know what they're getting themselves into. This is going to be some awesomeness right here. So let's go ahead and just dig into it, man. Like, you and I, we are in a very good mood right now, as is the rest of Eagles Nation. Are you still, I feel like the water tastes, better. The sun is shining brighter.
No aches and pains.
The music is just nicer. Like, I'm just like,
better.
I'm still enjoying this win, and it's made my week. There's a skip in my step, How are you feeling right now? What is the state of your Eagles fanness, and after witnessing that Cowboys nail biter win?
I'm telling you, I was watching the game, and my girl was like knocked out sleeping. So I was trying to be nice about it. and the dog and the cat were sleeping, and then it erupted. I'm screaming. My girl wakes up and she's like, "What's going on? High five? Okay." I'm just going nuts. I'm like, I can't believe this. And after that happened, like after the touchdown, it ended. I'm literally looking at the wall for like probably like half hour. Like I couldn't believe that happened. You know what I mean? Like after everything that went on, the two PIs, which were ridiculous, the doink off the goalpost. You're like, really? Is this really gonna happen? We're gonna lose in overtime. And just watching Jordan Matthews, a guy who's been through it over the last couple of weeks. 2 weeks had to go by, which I felt bad for him after that last game because I knew the bye was coming up. So I'm like, this guy is gonna have to like hear this, about him dropping the ball, blah blah blah. For 2 weeks, it couldn't have happened to anyone better than Jordan Matthews to end that game.
Yeah, exactly. It was the perfect scenario. The storyline played out perfectly for Jordan Matthews. And, Sam Bradford really, I think Matthews needs to credit Bradford a lot to that as well. Because Bradford really just has faith in Matthews, knows the athlete that he can be, and really pushed him to own this game, and we saw the quotes of him just telling Matthews on that last drive, win this game.
Yeah,
and what did Matthews do? He won the freaking game. So to me,
shout out to Jordan Matthews for being a solid dude. I was telling you before, me and E-Rock were in Bish. We were at the Giants game, and Jordan Matthews just came up like a governor. It just stuck his hand out and shook your hand. That's the kind of dude he is. I mean, solid dude, and I'm happy he's an Eagle, but.
Quality guy. Glad to see him finally, getting over that slump. And it's, man.
I mean, it's kind of like a loss for words. I mean, the last couple of days, I've been kind of like reliving that play and just like, is this real life? But it's real.
It's like, when was the last time we've witnessed a clutch, just kind of like down to the wire, last minute, overtime, when have we seen the Eagles come out on top in this scenario? Like, it feels like we've seen this before, but we're always on the losing end.
Like, I don't think I felt like this since like Meadowlands 2.0. Like when Deshaun returned that punt, like that was amazing. But this feeling is, I think we were just dying for this kind of win to happen for this season. Like it's been week after week, it's been like, you don't feel great about your team.
Yeah.
Like this is the first complete game that we saw as Eagle fans. So like everybody was super hyped. Like Sam Bradford is completing passes. Our receivers are catching the ball. The run game is back. So on that note, and the defense was playing phenomenal. So I mean, it was a complete game from that standpoint. So I think it was just amazing.
And the fans in the comments, Lion Emperor saying Eagles look ready to take on the NFL. They're the team capable of beating anyone and capable of losing to anyone. But, right now I'm really just enjoying the moment for what it is. And enjoying, in addition to the win, I feel like we're witnessing the complete meltdown of the Cowboys fan base.
Cowboy Nation.
Have you kind of noticed and felt the vibe and kind of just seen, this?
But it's funny on Twitter how like Cowboy fans like start popping up in your mentions or start tweeting you back, and you're like, "What are you doing? Like, can we enjoy our moment without y'all trying to come in like roaches through the walls and like, hey, we're here." Like, you guys are 2-5. What, 2-5, right? 2-6.
2-6. Or they had 6 straight losses, right?
6 straight losses.
Yeah. So it's, did you see, like, what surprised me the most was after the game, they were debating the coin toss.
It's desperation.
And they're like
someone could have dubbed the audio on it. It does sound a little bit like heads, but then he said tails.
Said it twice or 3 times. It's like they're right there listening.
And then if the coin is in midair and you say tails, hey, you switch it to tails.
Yeah. But I was
like the second ref was like, "Did you say tails?" but I don't know. But it's
And then I
definitely
started thinking about it. I was like, you know what? I almost want to feel bad for them because oh God, this is the worst, And I remember when our Eagles went through those, what was it, 7 or 8 consecutive losses? Remember that season? It was pure torture. And how do you not have a mental breakdown after that? Like,
I'm telling you, I can't feel bad for Cowboys.
I know. I said almost. Keyword almost.
Ever, forever, ever in my best outcast voice. Never. I can't. I just have so many like Cowboy fans that are friends that give it to me like every time we lose or something bad happens or DeMarco is gonna fall apart. Like I just get bombarded with Cowboy fans. So can't do it.
Oh man. Well, it was all nice and fun and great because we got the win. It was too close for comfort almost, but it was nice to see our team kind of perform in that clutch moment. I think we needed to see that almost. So it almost worked out that it was a close game for us. But one of the, I guess, not so good scenarios of this game was our boy Jordan Hicks with that pectoral injury. Oh, man.
Pick Hicks, or should we call him Peck Hicks?
I know.
Yeah, I mean, like that kid's had a phenomenal year. I mean, just like I remember we were watching. It was me and Iraq. We were at the Jets game, and that was his first game started. And this is we didn't really expect much out of Hicks. All of a sudden, we're watching the game, and I'm like, yo, Hicks is everywhere. Like, who was that? Oh, that was Hicks. Who's that on the tackle? Oh, that was Hicks. So I mean, that dude's been making plays.
It was a nice surprise.
For the last 6 weeks.
Yeah. And I mean, now we're back to the original combination, which I guess, we could have a worse situation, like, oh, our surprise star rookie can't play, but at least we still have more guys, and guys that we were willing to start with. I
feel like it's almost like I feel like it's a Lion King reboot, like when D'Amico Ryans went down, it was Simba stepping up, circle of life, and then now Simba is gone, and then Mustafa has to arise.
Yeah. Right, so, I like that.
Yeah. Lion King reboot.
Oh man. Well, Dave L is pointing out that they resigned Acho. And you know what? I'm a fan of Acho and his tweets.
Acho was a cool dude. I do like Acho. Like he's slick with his tweets. You know what I mean?
So the whole pectoral thing, that was kind of the big, downer of the game, but a lot of wins. We talked about Jordan Matthews, and this O-line, with Peters out, we had Dennis Kelly come in and Lane Johnson had to step up, and they were able to handle business for the most part and allowed Bradford to shine.
Eagles Nation was, concerned. I know I was concerned. I just didn't know what it was going to look like. A lot of people don't realize that Lane Johnson played left tackle for Oklahoma. So I think the reason that they brought him in, like you don't really draft a right tackle at the number 4 slot. Like you draft him to be the future left tackle. And seeing that, Jason Peters is here, they're like, all right, we'll get Lane Johnson, play him at right, switch him to left when Jason Peters goes down. And Jason Peters went down, and he filled him quite nicely.
Mm-hmm. And Dave L. again says he was impressed with Lane Johnson. Where was Hardy? And
he struggled. Hardy struggled a little bit, and then he tried to go to the right side, take advantage of Dennis Kelly. And Dennis Kelly, he did a phenomenal job, like just stepping in and playing lights out.
Yeah. Now, do you think? We obviously want to credit the O-line, but do you think part of maybe Hardy's non-performance was the whole, outbreak of his issue this week? Did that kind of mess with his head? And
it's got to be. That's got to be distracting. I guess today he changed his Twitter handle. you see that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah. I mean, Eagle Nation was probably blowing his Twitter handle up, but I just think he's been bombarded, and that's got to be in his mindset. I was at Radio Row like a year ago, the Super Bowl Radio Row, and I was walking by him, and it was just like I got this bad energy. I don't know why. Like I seen tons of players, but when he walked by, I was just like, yo, this is kind of a douchebag.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
And I guess it's almost appropriate that game-winning play was a missed sack by Hardy. He was coming for Bradford, but Bradford already let it go, and it was already in Jordan Matthews' hands, and game was over. That was just kind of like the perfect moment where he's just like failing, and we're succeeding.
Release the Kraken. What is his Twitter handle? Something Kraken.
Yeah, I forget. I don't tweet him very often, and but okay, I cannot leave out another big win for us being Sturgis, our kicker.
Yeah, I mean,
what is your feeling of our kickers, the whole situation so far?
I mean, when Parkey went down, I was like, oh, a cool ass rookie came in, did his thing. But then when we had news of him like slipping up in training camp, I was like, maybe there's something wrong with Parkey. But yeah, I mean, Sturgis, he had a rough start, but he's picked it up. I mean, anytime you see a kicker flexing, I'm like, the kicker is flexing. Like, shout out to Sturgis for that. I mean, that was a huge kick, 53 yards. The game on the line.
That was his high, his career high.
Eagles Nation staring you in the eye if you miss that kick. I mean, that's huge.
That was clutch. How were you in the moment? So I do my live streams on game day, and in the moment, my back was turned. I turned around. I could not face the TV. I did not look. I was waiting for everyone in the bar to react before I looked up. Because I was that terrified.
Right.
I have like anxiety when it comes to our kickers. And I couldn't watch another one not go through the goalpost, like I'm traumatized. Yeah. So this really helped me in my
when he lined up, I was just like praying. And then I was like, he's gonna make it. And I'm like mouthing it. I'm like, he's gonna make it. He's gonna make it. He's gonna make it. And then the cat jumped up. My girl woke up and it was just all nuts. But yeah, like that was amazing. That was super amazing. But I'm just happy for him. He's been getting it for the last couple weeks. So for him to, succeed, like Bradford, Matthews, the kicker. No one gives love to the kicker. Like how do you replace like a guy like Akers? Akers was the man for like decades. You know what I mean?
But then he ended up with his own struggles. That's when my first trip ever to Philadelphia was during McNabb's homecoming as a Redskin. And that's when we lost to the Redskins. And David Akers missed those 3 field goals. That was the start of my trauma. And that's why I'm so like crazy about it, because it's, my first trip, I had to witness this, and I was like all pissed off. And then like ever since he's been gone, we've had just these issues, and it's just like, why?
So now you went to 2 Eagles losses already?
In Philadelphia.
Yeah. Okay.
My 2 games in Philadelphia were losses. But my first, I'd say 3 games that I ever went to were all wins.
Okay.
So
right now I'm 3 for 3 this year. So the last 3 wins that I were attended, so that was great.
I need to witness a win in that freaking stadium. So
like it was the first, like this year was the first time I've ever went to an Eagle game at home, and I thought this year was kind of like the year to like switch it up. I'm usually like you said, the sports nerd watching the game in a dank hole by myself. I don't want to be bothered writing down notes, but just making that switch and watching it live with Eagle fans. Like if you're an Eagle fan, like if it's one thing that you want to do, a life changer, scratch it off the bucket list, Go watch the Eagle game. Tailgate with E-Rock. He'll get you in the mood. The crazy Eagle fans down there, it's amazing. And then watching the first "Fly Eagle Fly" chant, you're like, this is amazing.
It is. I
It's
didn't
like,
want to leave.
I found my tribe. That after that, I was like, I got to get down to. I'll be at the Miami game and I'll be at the Bills game. So
You go to the Giants games in New York?
I did. The last one. I'm gonna try and get to that one. The Monday night game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that was in Philly, right?
Yeah, that was in Philly.
Oh, okay.
That was amazing. I took off. So Monday night, we had great seats and the place was rocking. Like I went to the Saints game, but the Giants game was off the hook. I mean, the crowd was going nuts, and nobody sat down the whole game.
Do you go to the Meadowlands though? The ones there?
Yeah, I actually went to the Jets. The Jets.
Oh, okay. So how is it there in that stadium?
What's that?
How is it there? I always go to games in enemy territory because I always go to the West Coast.
Like if you go there with Jets fans aren't like Giants fans, but Giants fans are crazy.
Yeah, and now the rivalry. It's we're the two fighting for that NFC East title.
Who would have thought the Giants, right? But they do play the Patriots this week, so.
That's true. I'm hoping, the solid Patriots can continue with that. But what makes me nervous is there's one team that no matter how good the Patriots are playing, that can take them down, and it's been the Giants. Like, they're the ones that always have that surprise upset win against the Patriots. Now, logically it shouldn't happen. But in NFL, it's not always logical. So I'm hoping that it's definitely just a automatic loss for the Giants. But again, I'm never certain about anything when it comes to.
Right. And if it's anyone who's going to beat the Patriots, it would be the Giants.
They'd have to be super lucky. Like, there will be no reason to the victory, but it'll just be insanity and luck and craziness. But I can't say that. I'm picking the Patriots to win this week. But
we all are.
Still a little nervous about that one little factor. But okay, speaking of the Giants matchups, let's get into the Eagles matchups. So right now, when you look at what the road ahead, everything seems really great for the Eagles right now and their situation within the division. Now, the Giants have a tough schedule. I think they have obviously the Patriots, and then I think they have a bye, and then they face the Jets, who's a, tough defense.
Right.
And they always play competitive. So that seems like an ideal situation where they can just rack up, a couple of losses while Eagles can just kind of play catch up and then take the lead, because we have Miami, which should be a beatable team, but I'm never 100% sure with my Eagles because they will lose and win against any team.
They're going to win because I'm going to be there. So they're going to win.
Yeah.
The streak continues.
Oh, that's true. All right. There we go.
There is
game over.
The whole Bill Lazor effect. He was part of the Eagles, coaching staff with Chip Kelly. He took Chip Kelly's offense and basically brought it down 95 South and took it to Miami, and they built their whole system around Chip Kelly's system. Basically, they run kind of like the same offense.
Yeah,
and a lot of the
Mark Vader in the stream saying Miami is a lot better since Dan Campbell, and that's coming from a Bills fan. So.
Yeah, I like the Dan Campbell Dolphins much better. Wow. I think they're playing for the coach. And I think they're trying to change their scheme. They're trying to run the ball, pound it with Lamar Miller. They're a team that's they're a power running game. They're trying to get to a lot of moving pieces. You have Landry, who's a beast. He's like a moving chess piece. They move him around. He can, if we had problems with Cole Beasley on the inside, Landry is the type of guy that a smooth route runner, a playmaker. Can catch punts, punt returner. He's the guy that makes the offense tick. and then they're going to base their offense around Lamar Miller's legs. And they also have rookie running back Jay Ajayi coming back, who's actually been working slowly.
You named it. One of my biggest concerns is Lamar Miller. I think, the biggest struggle we had was against, I'm going back to the Carolina Panthers and their run game. When we're faced against a strong, running team, like that's when we struggle. And, Lamar Miller, he's been looking really good, and he's been.
But the biggest thing about the Dolphins, their guard play is not inconsistent. They've had some problems with their guards in their offensive line. So I'm feeling confident. We're a strong team against the run. I know we kind of bended. We didn't completely break against the Cowboys, but I think we match up well. And their offense is something that our Eagles defense is super familiar with. Like they go up against it in practice every day. They know all the little nuances. I believe Connor Barton was talking about we know this offense, but we can't. We still have to play them, and But our defense is, I think, is going to be comfortable playing this kind of offense.
All right. Well, Mark Vader has another question. And before I say that question, I need to say hi to Christian. I think Vong, I've seen you in the comments saying hi. I want you to know I see you. Feel free to add any topics or questions. That's what the live chat is here for. And after we do Eagles talk, we get into NFL topics. So if you have a specific team you root for or a specific topic you want us to address that's not Eagles, now would be the time, because as we wrap up the whole Miami talk, then we get into the NFL topic. So back to Mark Vader's question. How do the Eagles stop Ndamukong Suh? So you got Suh.
And he had a rough start, but I think he's starting to bring it back together. He's starting to play a lot better. So I think, they might have to double team him. That guy's a beast. I actually love that. He's a beast. If I want a defensive lineman in the mentality, Suh all day. Like that dude wants to kill your children. That's what I want in my DTs. But yeah. But I think they got a plan for them. If they remember JJ Watt when we played JJ Watt, they'll have a plan for him. You cannot have a plan for Ndamukong Suh.
And then Brent Grimes with 11 interceptions since he's joined Miami. And the only other person ahead of him within that time frame is Richard Sherman.
Right.
So
and Grimes is a beast.
Bradford's got to be careful this game.
Yeah, Grimes is a beast, and he's a small dude. Makes some sick catches. Have you ever seen that interception where he takes it out of Calvin Johnson's reach? And this dude's like 5'9". But the thing about Grimes is, who do they have opposite of Grimes? And I think that's where the Eagles can take advantage, because they don't have consistent play across the way.
Yeah.
Because Grimes is a beast. Like, all right, we won't throw to Grimes' direction. That's what we'll do. And their linebacker play has been a little bit questionable. So you think about, Zach Ertz. You think about using our running backs out of the backfield and on flares and wheel routes. We can take advantage in that situation. So, their defensive front is tough, and Rashad Jones, their safety, he's a playmaker. So other than that, but we can throw on these guys. We definitely can.
So have you paid attention? What's up with Nelson Aguilar right now? Is he?
He thought he was going to play last week. That was the whole thing. Like he thought he was going to play, but they wanted to hold him out. He's practicing, so he should be a go for this week.
So he will be back this week?
Unless there's some kind of setback, but he's practicing.
Okay.
The one person that's not practicing, Malcolm Jenkins.
No!
Yeah.
What's up with Jenkins?
Kelly said that Jenkins has a concussion. So he's going through the protocol, concussion protocol right now. So,
but he should be good to go, right?
Chip Kelly is like, it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
He should play.
When did he get a concussion? During practice?
During the game, but no one really even knew that. Like I didn't. I just found that out today. I was like, he had a concussion. I don't remember.
Wouldn't they have taken him out?
Well, if sometimes people can have symptoms after the game.
Oh, we need Jenkins in.
Yeah, I mean.
Oh man, if there's one player we need out there on defense, it's that dude.
Yeah. So right now, Maragos is getting a ton of reps in practice. I'd rather have Jenkins and Maragos, but if I'm gonna flip a coin, Maragos all the way.
Dang. So Michael Bish says the fact Malcolm Jenkins might miss this week could be huge.
Michael Bish, what's up?
So, oh man, that could change some things. But for now, I'm the optimistic, hopeful, Eagles fan that our players that need to be there will be. And it's good to hear Aguilar will be back. I have his jersey. Shout out to Eric EJT on YouTube. He hooked me up with the Aguilar jersey, and I've been wanting to wear it, but he never played.
Aguilar, I mean, he's a guy, like, he was the one guy that I wanted as a receiver coming out of college. Like, he was the jack of all trades guy, runs solid routes. He can go up and get the ball. That's one dude that I wanted, and it's been frustrating to see him not develop yet. But I think it's just been there's been a whole lot of moving parts this season.
Yeah, and I think it's just the time, and that's the timing factor. We are not patient people, but like Jordan Matthews just needed time, and it was really hard to be patient with him, especially witnessing all these, what seemed to be easy drops. But now I think now that he's had his moment, he's moving forward. We're going to see a whole new Jordan Matthews the second half, and the Matthews that we've been waiting to see and that we needed in,
If you think about last season, if it wasn't for Odell Beckham Jr., who would be the rookie of the year? It would have been Jordan Matthews. And just seeing him struggle early, that was crazy because dude is like, he broke the record for leading receptions and receiving yards in the SEC. The SEC is one of the best, that's the best in college, pretty much. So, dude never drops the ball. So this first couple of games is kind of like mind-boggling. But
I think I think it's so. Imagine Matthews playing how he should be playing, and then Aguilar coming back and getting his time in and progressing to the player that we know he can be. Like I could get excited about this.
Those two, I mean, and those guys are two solid dudes. I know you talk about the Chip Kelly guy. Mm-hmm. Those guys are hard workers and, solid dudes, solid gentlemen. They're like, we come to work, we come to play. It's not about like, I want to make it rain. I want to go to the club. I'm going to, it's all about football with those guys. Yeah. So having those two guys is
smart.
Yeah. I mean, the elephant in the room is really Josh Huff. Like
the what?
Josh Huff.
Oh.
Like, when are we going to see Josh Huff break out?
Yeah, he had a couple plays here and there that were like, yay, finally. Yeah. I don't know about that one, but
I mean, that play down by the goal line, I mean, that's a perfect opportunity to get your name back in the good graces with Philadelphia Nation. Catch that ball and get an end zone. Like, imagine if, like, he bopped it, went off his hands and went in the air. Imagine if that got picked. That would have changed the whole momentum of the game. And you think about last season when he fumbled that ball against the 49ers.
Maybe Matthews working through his kind of own issues was a good example for all the other players that we know, the potential's there, but like it really does take a lot of extra work and effort and diligence. And, that's hard to create within yourself if it's not something that comes natural to you. Yeah. But if you witness it, like, wow, this person did this and got these results, I can do that too. It's almost like the whole weight loss, people that follow these fads, like, oh, they did this and got that result. Right. I can do it too, So maybe, it was almost good having such a a valuable player go through that struggle and then recover and then, set an example for the other players that are in that same kind of situation. So
it just seems like Huff has been up and down, up and down. Like, people like I thought he was gonna be a sleeper this year. It just hasn't turned around yet. So
yeah, well, again, time, that's the toughest thing. Waiting and seeing, will it play out? But all right, well, we're gonna have to transition to our next segment. But any final thoughts on any Eagles talk that you felt we missed, or anything you need to get off your chest out there? People watching on YouTube and the interwebs.
Can we give some love to Darren Sproles? I just want to give Darren Sproles.
I mentioned his name.
Darren Sproles a hug. I mean, he's like the human Care Bear. I mean, that dude. Can they utilize him? Like, he's the guy that everyone talked about in training camp, and Chip Kelly's always talked. That's my Swiss Army knife. Well, when you use it, like, you take your Swiss Army knife everywhere, and you use that. And I think he's just underutilized. I think they have to be more creative with Sproles. I just don't get it,
I can always get down with more Sproles. I will
co-sign
real quick.
Get his diary and how to use Darren Sproles. I mean, dig in the crates. I mean, get Sproles involved. So, I mean, I think Sproles is leading. I think for the Pro Bowl or something for a return man.
Oh, you're my numbers guy, yo. You tell me.
Leading in that field. I mean, but I'd love to see him get more involved in the passing game. That's his thing.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to cover Sproles.
He says Sproles needs more snaps, least rushing yards on the team. So
Mark Bader said, "How is Sproles underutilized?" Interesting. I think Sproles is underutilized in the way that you can use him as a decoy. Like, if you have Sproles in motion and then come back with a misdirection to Matthews or Murray the other way, just knowing that Sproles' little man is running out to the left, you have to pay attention. Or if you fake a handoff to him or get him involved in that way, you just can't. You have to be more creative when you use him. You just can't bring him on. Hey, we're bringing in Sproles on third down. What are we going to do? Maybe pass to him? I mean, you bring him on first and second down, mix him in. But I like Sproles. I
really just like all our guys right now. Now that we've finally kind of gotten a rhythm with that run game, it's there really is no bad option when it comes to our running backs. We're seeing DeMarco Murray finally posting numbers and getting those extra yards, and Matthews has been great, and Sproles has always been. I'm always on the Sproles train, man. So I think I feel good about what's going down right now with this Eagles kind of whole running situation, especially after it started so shaky to begin with.
And the biggest thing, like, no one's talking about, the last 4 games, the Eagles are 150 yards plus for the last 4 games. And that has never happened in the Chip Kelly era. And it hasn't happened since, like, 1992. Like, that's how long. We haven't had 4 straight games of 150 plus yards rushing. So, honestly, that's hats off to Chip, and I really think that's the beauty of our rushing game. You get the rushing game going, and you get Sam Bradford comfortable. Like, you don't put it all on his back. Hey, we're gonna pass 50 times. No, we get the running game going, and then you let Sam Bradford be Sam Bradford.
There you go. And Vindaloon 87 says Sproles will feature plenty in upcoming matches, I'm sure. So there you go. Vindaloon said it. Look out for Sproles. Lead upcoming opponents away from him. Okay, so I guess we will wrap up the Eagles talk there. So all the people in the comments, if you want to talk about something within the NFL headlines for this week or for this past week, let me know. Otherwise, we're just going to talk about some random notes that we have here in my little notes section. So I guess let's kick it off with, let's go with the, I guess, undefeated Panthers. I mean, also you have New England and Cincinnati who are undefeated, but that's not as big of a surprise. I would say 3 weeks ago when we were doing this podcast, we were going through all the 6 or 7, however many undefeated teams there were. And we're like, who's going to be the first to go out of these teams? And it was the Panthers. We all kind of agreed. Right. And they're still there.
They play defense. I mean, you can't knock playing defense and then running the ball sound. Like if you can run the ball, you can play solid defense. And first and foremost, what's his name? Josh Norman. I think Josh Norman, the cornerback who's been like Revis Light this year. Like he shut down so many receivers. Like you name it, he shut him down. Yeah. And I'd have to say he's one of the biggest reasons why they're 8-0.
Yeah, so that was, I mean, they beat the Broncos.
Oh, and Cam Newton. We'll give Cam Newton some love.
I know, dude. I was so annoyed with him during the Eagles game. I was like, dude, this guy and his facial expressions and his goofy and his showboatingness. I'm like, oh, God.
I hate the first down dance. Oh. Yeah. Not that I hate Cam Newton. I just hate that celebration.
Yeah. Do you know who they play this week? The Panthers?
I do not.
Let me see. Let me pull it up. Who do they face? The Titans. All right.
It's a winnable game.
Yeah. So they look like they're still going to be holding it down. And all right. Well, good for them. You know, I don't have any hatred towards them or anything. And I honestly think the Eagles could beat them if they get their act together, which they're starting to, So
I mean, all we have to do is get hot, really.
Yeah, exactly. So they're beatable, and I wouldn't mind facing them later on in the postseason. But next up, Andrew Luck. And
lacerated kidney. That's no joke.
They, he finally has a good game, and then ends up, yeah.
Yeah, I think he might have been injured for a while. Like maybe not. But I feel like besides the lacerated kidney, I feel like there was something wrong with him. Like something, I don't know. He took a lot of shots in the beginning of the season. He was taking a lot of runs and just trying to do too much. And he was the offensive line wasn't really giving him much time, so he got rocked. He took a heavy beating this season. So, but I do like Andrew Luck. He's a goofy, cool dude. Like, have you ever seen that video with Andrew Luck where when he gets sacked, he congratulates the guy? Or
yeah,
it's like so weird, but I like it. I like weirdness. So
I love it, and that totally resonates with me because I was the nice athlete, like most of the time. There was a couple of times where girls didn't deserve my niceness, but
right.
I was always, I'm always happy, smiley, whatever. And most people expect an opponent to mentally break down, get upset, blah, blah. But me, I would just be like, oh, nice shot, good game. And I'd be smiling and happy, and my opponents would be really confused. Right. And sometimes it would get to the point where they're so confused that it would mess up their game, and then I would start to win,
Are you being condescending? No, man, nice, bro.
Oh, I didn't hear you, but
no, I mean, you could be so nice that it seems like it's condescending.
Oh, well, hey,
You could be like, nice socks, bro. Yeah, do you really like my socks?
I always wonder if I was with my mind now, being an athlete I was back then, would I act the same or would I be all crazy and different? But it's, we'll never know. So next up, we have the whole Akeem Talib, little Three Stooges eye poke during a football game. What is that?
I don't think he meant to stick his finger right in his. What, you got him in the eye, right?
Yeah.
Right in the eye. I just thought it was one of those I'm gonna stun you, man. Like, I'm gonna stick my finger in your face and what? You hit someone in the temple. That's like the worst thing.
That's what he said he was trying to do, hit his forehead,
Yeah.
but the helmet is on his forehead. Like, where?
Right. But you stick it in there, you can get it in there. But yeah, that is dangerous though. That's why you should always wear the visor.
Yeah.
The clear visor.
Well, it actually happens, right? Just normally in place. But
your mom always says you'll lose an eye, right? So
he got suspended for a game.
Right.
I believe.
And he wasn't fighting it either. Like, he was like, all right, like, I shouldn't have done that.
Well, didn't he try to appeal it and then it got denied? Or?
Yeah, but he like, after the fact, he wasn't like fighting. He's just like, I lost my cool and I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
But he did. I think he made a comment about Allen. He's like some kind of Allen some kind of way or something like that. Kind of like questioned his manhood.
Well, I think that's good that he's, like, I respect a player that's willing to admit, and own up to their fault. Like, obviously, you can't, how do you defend or rationalize a freaking, like, eye poke? It's just like, all right, it was dumb and I can admit it and I'm ready to accept whatever happens. I can respect that. Do you think it was inappropriate punishment, the one suspension?
Yeah. I mean, like, remember when Sue stepped on Aaron Rodgers and everyone got super hyped? Like, didn't he get like 3 games or 2 games, or he stepped on his leg?
But I was like, I remember everyone was all crazy. He was like the most hated NFL player for a while.
Yeah. Not by me. I was like, yeah.
I can't get down with a head stomp. I'll tell you that much.
Not the head stomp, but I'll step on his socks or something. Right. I like my defense.
Oh, you're a feisty player, huh? And you played ball, didn't you?
I did play ball. I like it.
Like,
if you play under the rules, fine. But football is a violent sport. Like, people, please don't forget that. It's a violent sport.
There's certain boundaries, though. There's a difference between an eye poke and a head stomp, or like a really overly aggressive hit.
Like, if you're on a field, head on a swivel. Like, you cannot feel like, hey, I'm at the park. No, like, you can get lit up from all 360 degrees here. So when you're on a field, that's what happens. But I mean, like, when guys are in the heat of the battle, things happen. Like, you just have to realize that it's a football game and things happen. It's not like Albert Hainworth, like, step on a bare head.
Oh yeah, he was the worst.
Cut his head open. Like, that's like some, potential, Jeffrey Dahmer type behavior. Like, you don't. That's like, But that is what it is.
Yeah. Well, I think Mark Vader would like us to address the Buffalo Bills. They made a little, history last week, saying 2 running backs with 100 rushing yards and a wide receiver with 150 yards receiving in the same game in NFL first.
And who was their running back? I don't know that guy. What's his name?
Oh, little Shady McCoy.
Yeah. But he got banged up.
Yeah.
That game. But no, hats off to McCoy though. Like, he's had a rough season. He came back nicely. And then what's the backup's name? I can't think of his name. Williams.
Oh yeah.
He's ridiculous. Out of Florida State. I watched him a lot last season, and that's why Bryce Brown got his walking papers, and Fred Jackson got his walking papers. Carlos Williams has been putting it in. I mean, I think he broke a record for like the most touchdowns by a rookie.
Oh really?
In like 6 games straight, he's had touchdowns.
Oh snap! Michael Bish says, shout out to E-Rock making NFL Network a few minutes ago. What? All right, that's cool.
Can you give more information on that?
I know. Can you give us more information? Michael Bish, what's going down with our boy? There's like a 30-second delay. So while we wait for Michael Bish to clarify what's going down, we will continue. Now, Mark Vader, the Bills fan, he and I are good friends. And we had this whole debate during the offseason about who had the better running back core within the NFL between the Bills and Eagles.
We have to go Eagles.
Well, exactly. Like, it was pretty obvious to me.
Like if you're gonna go, because like I'm going 3 deep. We got 3-headed monster.
Yep.
They might have 2-headed monster.
Yep.
We have 3-headed monster.
My points exactly. And he was, he's very happy about his team's accomplishments this week. And he was trying to bring up on Facebook, putting words in my mouth that were never said. So I did need to clarify. I clarified to him. I'll clarify here right now. He was insinuating I was saying Shady wasn't good, or he wasn't. I never said that. Shady's always been I've respected him as being one of our most consistent, high quality players. But
see this guy?
Oh, snaps!
Like I can't.
I would never say he's not good. I wouldn't badmouth him, but I will. What I did recognize was that his off season and his kind of mental state was a little shaky,
It was shaky.
So
I feel bad because he's like the forgotten son now. Like everyone loved him some McCoy, and then I don't know, what was that whole thing where he invited like all the women in Buffalo to like a party or something? Like that's I don't know.
People he has around him are not very good influence.
And then the whole tipping thing with the weight, that was not a good look.
Yeah, there's some maturity issues, and that's another reason why I see why he didn't fit into Chip Kelly's locker room. And I respect that Chip's willing to cut ties with such talent that doesn't have, the right state of.
Yeah, I mean, I think Chip Kelly is looking for like leaders of men. Like if you're not a self-starter and you can't get yourself there by yourself, then he really doesn't want to deal with it. Like if he has to be on your back, you know what I mean? I think, but I do miss McCoy.
Yeah.
So Mark Vader.
Yeah, I will always have love for McCoy. That's always
Vader,
what I
Mark Vader enjoyed McCoy while he still has his shakiness. That's a shifty dude.
So there you go, Vader. We got love for McCoy, but we keep it real, but we're not haters. So, Bish, where you at? I saw your comment. There you are. His tribute to the veterans video. I didn't even see that video. Where was that? I didn't see him upload that on YouTube.
Yeah.
I'll have to check it out. But all right, well, let's see. I think we're gonna have to wrap it up in just a few minutes. So do you have any final NFL topics, that one that really sticks out that you're like, yeah, let's talk about this real quick? Or are you just like, nah, man, I don't care about any other team except the Eagles?
I mean, the whole big thing with Hardy was a huge thing, and I did see your video. That was on point. Like
oh
yeah. I mean, it's something that needs to be addressed, and I think with the NFL campaign, with the whole No More situation, like you can't run a No More campaign and have players who dabble in beating women. Like you can't have, like, it's like a conflict of interest. It's like if you're a Yankee fan and I wear a Red Sox jersey sometimes, like just it doesn't happen. Like if you're gonna stick your foot in the ground on a situation and back it 100%, you can't have situations like that. And a lot of people are saying you can't blame the NFL, you blame the Cowboys. And
well, I mean, it's, I normally don't even like to address all these like crazy things because it's just such a negative vibe, and it really takes away that there really are a lot of great players and high character. We see on our Eagles team, there's such great guys in the NFL that it tarnishes their image as a whole because of these very few that do some really, really bad stuff. And
like 3% of the league, when 95% of the guys are doing great things, like Connor Barwin, like building like water irrigation systems, like dudes that really do really good work really should get mentioned more. And that's a big thing that, they're starting to do that, but I think they need to do it more. But
well, and I think the problem trend that I'm seeing with the NFL, with the teams, with these players on their team, is that they're not stepping ahead of the problem. If they really just stepped ahead of it, stepped in front of it, addressed it, and really tried to find a solution, I think us as fans, as the audience, would respect it more. We're not dumb, so don't treat us like we don't see what's happening, right? And that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to ignore it for as long as possible until it blows up in their face. And that's the worst scenario, with any issue. You need to be upfront, you need to address it, have a discussion, address it somehow, and then that way we feel something is being done. We're not just being disregarded and disrespected or whatever. So the reactionary thing doesn't work. And that's exactly what the Cowboys are doing. They're just ignoring everything.
Right. Well, look who their owner is. I mean,
I know, and all that's doing is pissing everybody off. If the Cowboys had taken any action, or at least don't applaud someone doing something bad, they're really just like rubbing it in our face, and that's what's pissing people off. Had they really gotten in front of it, we understand this is bad, and we understand, and we're gonna work with him on fixing these issues because we understand he needs help, right?
Yeah,
that's totally. They don't have to kick him off or whatever, if they even just acted like they cared,
right?
I think they'd have a different reaction. But it's just
I also think if Hardy just came out and presented himself better, he would have been fine. Just stay under the radar. If an NFL player is, stay under the radar. That's all you got to do, and do your job.
Yeah, but hey,
But he's a Cowboy fan. We don't really care about Cowboys.
That whole crew, they can't be as smart as us, so I guess they're just going to keep doing it wrong. And I'm fine with that, because ultimately it's in our favor for this team to self-destruct. So, hey, Jerry Jones, keep doing your thing. We're down with it. And we will continue winning, make our way to the top of this division. So that's really it, guys. I want to thank everybody in the comments for participating, giving us some topics, questions, and obviously I have to thank Gail here for joining in on the first.
Yeah, man, it's been ever. Fun. It's definitely been fun. I want to give PhilaDehlia a shout out. Just want to do him proud, do all the light skinned brothers proud. I got to fill that quota. So PhilaDehlia, sorry you couldn't be here.
Yeah, we got all the flavors, man.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, let people know where they can find you.
You can find me on Twitter at Eagle Sessions if you want to talk NFL nerd stuff like draft and people's 40 times and stuff like that. If you can follow me at Gayle Saunders. And then I'm on YouTube. I vlog as well at Eagle Sessions. It's Eagle and then Sessions. So yeah, if you guys want to talk, it's there. Eagle Sessions is basically therapy sessions. I want it to be Eagle therapy because that's what I need. I need to talk about it 24/7, and I need to talk to people about it. So this podcast has been a great opportunity to connect with more Eagle fans and great Eagle vloggers. So
there we go. One big happy family here. So just a reminder, guys, we are. You can subscribe and rate us on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, all those little podcasty little sites. And then we are here every Wednesday at 6:15 Pacific time. So it's 9:15 for you East Coasters. And so that's really it. You can subscribe here on YouTube to me. And then do you have a YouTube channel? It's Eagle Sessions, right?
Eagle Sessions, yeah.
Eagle Sessions. And then E-Rock will be back with us next week, hopefully. So that's it.
Just on NFL Network.
I know, he's just too busy on NFL Network, just being cool. But anyways, all right. Well, that's really it. About to sign off and looking forward to talking about another Eagles win next week.
Yeah. Peace. Go Birds.